What's up, YouTube? So today we got a review on the Marvel's Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Uh, yeah, she looks pretty cool, man. Got this figure off of Mercari for about $12, plus six, I think like 618 shipping, and so total she must have came out to just like a little over $20, after tax and whatnot. But as soon as I saw that $12, I was like, hey, this is a steal right here. So this is a figure I've been meaning to get for a little bit. So finally picked her up off of Mercari, got her for a good price, and for the most part, I'm very happy with her. She definitely has some paint imperfections that we will get into shortly, but overall, she looks pretty good, man. Pretty good. So, moving her aside real quick. Here's a look at the packaging that she came with, or came in rather. Says Marvel's Ant-Man the Wasp, Marvel's Wasp. Obviously, she had her, tray in there. She comes with her accessories. And it's got a nice background, nice symbol in the back for the quantum realm. That's really cool. Got some nice artwork on the side. And then on the back, a nice render of her there with a little bio, which you can pause right there if you want to read that. And then she is in the Cole Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave. So, Cole Obsidian, one of the children of Thanos. You can see, these are all the characters, or these are some of the characters in the, actually, yeah, all of them. All the characters in the wave that you need to build him. So you can go ahead and pause that if you want to read that. But yeah, pretty basic, standard Marvel Legends packaging. But yeah, man, before we take another look at her, you know what we got to do, man. We got to look at them accessories. All right, so here is the first one we shall take a look at. This is the Hope Van Dyne Evangeline Lilly head sculpt, which looks pretty freaking good, man. I like it. The likeness is definitely there. I think this is definitely one of Hasbro's better head sculpts. Looks pretty good. She has like a little bit of a dot there you can see on her forehead, top of her forehead. Not really sure what happened there, but overall, the paint apps are pretty good. I like the way the eyes came out, the flesh tone, the lips, the eyebrows. Everything looks pretty clean on this head sculpt, so that's really good. Nice paint for the hair and everything, very well sculpted. She's got her little ponytail going, so that, oops, dropped it. She's got her ponytail going, so that looks pretty good. Liking that a whole lot. Very nicely done head sculpt. I like it, whole bunch. And she also comes with a Cole Obsidian head sculpt. So she comes with the head. She's the figure in the wave that has the Cole Obsidian head. And this head sculpt, man, looks pretty freaking good. I gotta say. I mean, look at the paint apps. So like, the eyes in there, the brown and black colors and everything looks pretty freaking good. Even the top of the head, very well sculpted and painted. Very nicely done. Shout out to Hasbro on this. See if I can get some focus on it. There we go. Look at that. Very beautiful paint job. Nicely done. I like that. That's how all the heads should look in an idealistic universe of figures. And she, of course, comes with her wing pack, which, the pack itself doesn't have too much, detail or anything. It's mostly just kind of like a marbleized type of silver plastic, and then has the red line down the middle. But the wings look pretty cool, and off camera, looking at them, I want to say that they have like a little bit of a yellowish tinge to them. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera here, but the overall detail for the wings is very nice, and they are posable. Of course, you can move these wings up. They are like on hinges. You can move the the lower wings up and down like that, and then the top wings can go down and also up as well. So I like that a whole bunch. Very simplistic, but very nice design. Gets the job done for sure. And then she also comes with two karate chop hands. So I'll just show you one of them. But she comes with two interchangeable karate chop type hands. So that looks pretty good. Looks like there's a little bit of something going on that you know, that fourth finger there. I don't know what's going on right here. Maybe a little bit of a QC issue with the plastic, I guess, on that finger, guys. She's looks like she's growing an extra finger on that one. But yeah, overall paint and everything pretty standard, kind of just black paint. It's got a little bit of a texture in the fingers. I don't know how well you can see that, but the fingers are actually kind of textured, so that looks pretty good. And so yeah, and that's all her accessories. So we'll take a look at her. All right, the figure itself, and you know, overall, I gotta say she looks pretty good. Like I said, there are a few, you know, paint imperfections, but for the most part, she is done very, very well. So I like that. So let's get into articulation, and then we'll take a closer look at paint and detail. All right, so starting off with the arms, she's on a hinge joint, which can rotate fully. Does have a full rotation, so you get some windmill action. She has a single jointed elbow, which most of the female figures do for Marvel Legends. So you know she gets about like a 90-degree bend out of that, which is maybe a little less, which is okay. You know, kind of to be expected with the female figures from this line. They usually don't get double jointed elbows. Unfortunately, she has, you know, a hinge and a swivel in the wrist. As you can see here, you know, she's got kind of tiny wrists, but she does have a swivel for those wrists, and she also has a hinge, so you can hinge her fist in and out like that. So that's pretty cool. Just a side note, her right arm, when it came out of the package, her forearm for the right arm was actually kind of like twisted the opposite way, and the only reason I really noticed was because like her gauntlet was flipped like this way, basically like going in the same direction as this one on the left arm. And you know, obviously, if it's, you know, the opposite arm, it should be flipped the opposite way. So you know, I just flipped it around. So just be aware of that when she comes out of the package, you might have to flip her forearm around on one of her arms. But you know, just a little minor something wanted to point out to you guys. But overall, yeah, man, look at the paint. Like the paint looks pretty freaking good. I love the well, you know, we'll get into paint a little bit. Let me finish up with articulation so we don't get distracted. But you know, she can lift her arm up and out to the side about that far, which is a good 90-degree angle. And then of course down by her sides. No bicep swivel, unfortunately. Again, the female figures tend to, that's another thing that they tend to not get, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see, for the head articulation, she can look up. This is, you know, obviously her helmeted head. She can look up about that far, so that's pretty good. I like that a lot. Very natural look, very still, you know, in line with the body and everything. Looking down, she can look, let's see, seems like she can go about that far, which is pretty good. So she pretty much has her head, you know, tucked in, so that's pretty good. And then seems like it's on a ball joint, so you can of course get that 360 rotation in there. Very, very good. She has a little bit, just, you know, ever so slightly, a little bit of head tilt as well, so that's cool. That's always nice, a nice addition. For the torso articulation, she can lean back about that far, which is okay. You know, not too bad. Going forward, about, see what out. Make sure I'm not cheating here. Just using this this top torso joint, she can go forward about that far. So you know, kind of slight. You know, not the best, but it's all right. And then you know, no waist twist or anything like that. No real waist articulation, but it's pretty much just that top torso joint. So that's pretty much all she gets for the torso. Legs have a thigh swivel, which I'll show you on this side. Legs do have a thigh swivel, so you can move that for sure. Double jointed knees. Thank God they have at least, you know, double jointed knees. So here she is bending her leg way back like that, and then extended, and then, you know, kicking up, straight up, hiya, like that. She can kick about that far. So here's the side view, just about a 90 degrees, maybe just like slight, like just under 90, but yeah, it's pretty much a 90-degree angle, so that's good. Kicking back, not much, you know, kind of runs into the sculpt, so she gets about that far going backwards. And then out to the side, let's see, with the arm up here, seems out to the side, she gets about that much, which is all right, you know, could definitely be better, but try to show you with both legs so you get a better sense of that. You know, not too bad. Definitely not quite the splits, but it's reasonable. You know, definitely works. So I'll take that. And then for the feet, she is on a hinge, so she can kick the foot down all the way like that, all the way back. She can kick up all the way as well. And she has a very nice oh, I take it back. I was deceived. I thought she had some ankle rocker, but I guess she does not. That's kind of unfortunate. No ankle rocker on this, so that's a little disappointing. But you know, it is what it is. Not, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world, but definitely would have preferred it. But yeah, I think that's just about it for articulation. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure. Straighten her out a little bit here. Again, man, overall the paint and detail on this, very, very nice. So let's look at that head sculpt. That is very well done. Look at that. I love the yellow translucent plastic, so you can see her eyes in there and like the eyebrows. You can definitely get a good sense of like what her face looks like, you know, so that's pretty cool. Or at least, you know, from the eyes up, you know, you can definitely see her in there. I like the yellow translucent plastic. Again, we get some of that kind of marbleized, not very shiny type of silver plastic going for the helmet that she wears. But you know, here's the side. You can see the little you know, I don't really know what you call it, but this little thing kind of pointing off of the mask here on the sides. That looks pretty good, and I like the overall symmetry too. You know, on both sides. You know, I like that we didn't get any kind of weird QC thing with this, where like maybe one of them was uneven or, you know, very unsymmetrical with the other side. You know, it seems to be very symmetrical, so that's, you know, overall that's pretty good. Pretty nice paint apps. Got the darker gray going in there on the bottoms. Looks like this side might have had like a little bit of paint missing, but overall looks pretty good. And there's the top of her head, top of the helmet there. And yeah, the gold throughout the suit is very nice. Obviously, here's some of the paint imperfections I was mentioning. She has like a little bit of scratches going on around here in the chest and a little bit on the other side, so that's a little unfortunate. But I'm just, you know, I've decided to call it battle damage. Pretty much anytime I get, you know, paint imperfections in my figures, I just call it battle damage. I'm like, that's cool. You know, she's been in her fair share of battles, so she's taking some nicks to the armor. It's all good. But yeah, overall she still looks pretty nice. You know, nice gold paint going down here. The red lines, the line work seems to be pretty clean for the red. All that red line work going throughout, and very nice texture. If you can see like, you know, the texture, the kind of like almost like hexagonal or like beehive type of pattern. You know, she's the wasp, so you know the hexagonal pattern for the suit, very appropriate. Seems to be very accurate. I like that. You know, all throughout looks very nice. Obviously, got the detailing for the you know, her legs, and the red and gold line work continued down. Some gold for the knee pads, some red lines down here. You can see the line work in her boots. You know, the black lines kind of going through there. Some more texture. Very nice overall. I really like how this suit came out. Seems to be very movie accurate. Here's a look at the back. And I have, oh yeah, this was this backpack that's on her right now. That's actually technically another accessory because it didn't come on her in the package. but it's very easily, plugged in and out, so you can just easily remove it. And she's got that big port on her back, so you can just very easily, plug in this backpack piece, which I'll show you up close real quick. Has some pretty cool detail on there too. Pretty similar to the other one. Got the red line down the middle, same type of color, but it's got a little bit more of the texture going on. And I think, these pieces going down right here are supposed to emulate like the wings, kind of like folded up, like in a smaller form, folded into the pack. So that's pretty cool. Nice detail and texturing there. So yeah, you can easily just port that into her back. Well, I'll show you her back real quick without it, so you can get a sense of what that looks like. Nice line work again, some more texture and everything going all up the neck and everything, and even like these silver pieces that come over her shoulders into the back. That's pretty good. I will say that this silver that comes over her shoulders, it's a very more like realistic looking silver paint than the pack itself. Would have been nice if they had kind of continued like this color of paint on the pack, but still looks pretty good. Definitely fits in. And she's got, of course, her gauntlets on her arms and everything, elbow pads, everything looks pretty solid overall, so that's what's up. And so yeah, that's what that pack looked like on her back. I'll show you real quick what she looks like with the wing pack on her back, so you can actually see her with her wings. And look at that. That looks pretty fantastic, man. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I love the wingspan, the length of the wings and everything. I think it's very appropriate, movie accurate. They're not too huge, not too small, just right. So I think that looks really good. And again, you can pose these wings, so you can move them up and down. See that? So you can definitely get her into all different types of poses with her wings in different positions. So that's pretty cool. Really like that. And here's how she looks from the back with that wing pack on. So yeah, man, overall, like, I dig it. It's a solid figure. Definitely everything I needed pretty much as far as like paint wise and detail. Couldn't really ask for much more from a Marvel Legend, so I like it a whole bunch. And she stands pretty well, even with the pack. Like, the pack is pretty light itself, so it doesn't weigh her down in any direction too much. So she balances very well, so that's awesome. You always want that out of a figure. Nice balance ratio, so that's really good. And real quick, I'll show you what a head swap looks like with her civilian head, so you can get a sense of that. Pop that off real quick and put on the Hope Van Dyne head sculpt. Get it on here. Miss Hope. We'll cooperate. This ball peg is shifting around a lot. Get on, there you go. All right. Oh wow, that looks really, really good. Actually, yeah, I like the placement of her head on this ball peg too, because you can still see her neck. She's not suffering from like that no neck type of thing that a lot of other Marvel Legends figures suffer from. So you can definitely still get a sense of her like having a neck, which is good. And there's how she looks with the civilian head. I think that looks really good. Nice profile view for you. I dig it, man. I like it. Both head sculpts are done very, very well, so I'm liking that a whole bunch. All right, so let's finish it off with some size comparisons, and we'll get on up out of here. All right. So I'm gonna, just for the purpose of these comparisons, I'm gonna leave her wing pack off. Or actually, I'll put on the folded up version instead of the actual big wings, just so they don't get too, ridiculous when we're trying to do these comparisons. But yeah, here she is. I'm just gonna back her up a bit, make sure she can stand straight up. Oh yeah, she's just under the 6 inch mark. By the way, I measured her before the review. She's like just under 6 inches, so she should scale in very well with a lot of your other Marvel Legends, and well, yeah, you'll see that right now. So first person we'll put her up next to here is MJ from the Spider-Man Homecoming 2-pack. Let's see, make sure she can stand here. Come on, MJ. Come on, Zendaya. Stand for me. Come on. Stand. Yeah, it's a little tricky getting her to stand sometimes. Okay, there we go. So there you can see those two together. And yeah, you can get a sense that they're pretty much around the same height. Zendaya's pretty tall. I think she's like 5'10" in real life. I'm not really sure how tall Evangeline Lilly is, but I'm guessing they're pretty close in height. So that's what's up. Yeah, like with the hair, Zendaya might be this figure. She might be like a little bit taller, but you definitely get a good sense of how tall she is. So I'm gonna put her aside. I'm gonna put her next to a figure that we haven't really seen on the channel yet. I forgot to really mention and go over him during my intro video, but this is the Legacy White Ranger figure from Dino Thunder. And the Legacy line tends to be closer to 7 inches, so you can definitely see how much bigger he is than her in both height and size. He kind of like dwarfs her a little bit. But yeah, just you can get a sense of what she looks like next to a slightly taller figure, closer to the 7-inch, mark. That's how they look. And then let's get her next to like a 5 or 5.5-inch figure, so you can get a sense of what they look like. So here's the green Samurai Ranger from the Power Rangers Ninja Storm Ninja Flash line. This was like the old one back in the day, and you can see he's just a little bit shorter than her, but so yeah, she's got like very very little height over him, but you get a good sense of that. I want to give you a lot of variety, when it comes to these size comparisons, so you really get a true sense of what she looks like next to other figure lines. So here is the integrated suit Spider-Man. Just still one of my favorite figures. The suit, like I said, definitely grew on me, and I like it a lot. Make sure he's okay. There we go. So you can see that, and yeah, they're standing at just about the same height. To the top of her like little helmet thing. She might be just slightly over him, but they're pretty much the same height. So that looks pretty good. And make sure she's centered here too. There we go. So there's those two. We'll get her next really quickly to a Mafex Iron Man Mark 45. So you can get a sense of that. Yeah, he's definitely got he's got like a little bit of height on her for sure. He's definitely kind of like a bigger figure in comparison. The armor and everything, but I think you can make it work. He might be a little bit too big for your collection, but I think if you really wanted to, you can make it work. You can squeeze him in. But yeah, so that's the Mafex Mark 45 Iron Man. Let's try to get her next to the ZD Toys in-game Thanos, so you can get a sense of what she looks like to this big old dude right here. And he stands at about like 8 inches tall, so I think the ZD Toys line, at least for the Thanos figures, I think they would actually work pretty well with the rest of these these Marvel Legends figures. I think that's a pretty appropriate size comparison. Thanos might be a little bit larger than necessary, but I think that works. And last but not least, here she is next to Gamora, Guardians of the Galaxy Gamora. And I'm just gonna hold her because she tends to have trouble standing, but here's how you can see, get a sense of what they look like. But yeah, that'll do it for the review, guys. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. It's your boy Bio. Thank you for watching the review. Be sure to subscribe if you have not, and comment down below hashtag KTAG. That stands for Keep the Action Going, because that's what we do on this channel. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my new subscriber, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.